Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're on the PTR with RET PALLY. We're going to be going over the difference between BFA RET PALLY and Shadowlands PTR RET PALLY. Still no beta, so help a brother out, Blizzard please. But anyway, pretty much the big difference is we have a few more abilities, a few more choices and talents that you can actually go into depending on the situation. And I think our Templar's Verdict hits a lot harder. It just hits harder, I don't know. It feels more fluid. But there are some points in the rotation where there's downtime. I can see it for PvE, but not for PvP, since half the time we're not going to be able to reach anyone anyway. But that could change with Covenant abilities, but... Okay, let's get into it. Let's just go over normal abilities first. So if you'll notice this neat thing called auras in my bottom left. Retribution aura, Crusader aura is the mount's percent increase. Devotion aura is like the boring one every RET PALLY is going to have, reduces damage taken by 3%. And then RET PALLYs, you're going to take Retribution aura. Any party member or raid member dies within 40 yards, you get Avenging Wrath for 8 seconds. This can be really good for Battlegrounds. Currently we do have something similar in the RET PALLY tree. It's called Retribution. It's essentially Retribution aura, but instead of just Avenging Wrath, it gives you 20% damage reduction and 30% damage increase, or something along those lines. And that's the live version in BFA right now. So that's changing to Retribution aura in the Shadowlands PTR. You'll notice this thing called Word of Glory. Thank you, Blizzard. This is one of the best sites. I didn't know that, I hopped on RET PALLY, tried out the rotation, and I was just going through my spellbook, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not holy for some reason, but I have Word of Glory. So Word of Glory just heals you, heals a target. It heals a good bit, too. And to my knowledge, this does work with Avenging Wrath, and I think Avenging Wrath will make... rip. It doesn't make your first Word of Glory crit, that kind of sucks, but it'll still increase the healing. It would be nice if it honestly made Word of Glory crit, in case you really need it for that circumstance, but that's another new addition to our spellbook. Consecration baseline, however, the damage of it doesn't seem too redeeming, only 306 holy damage over 12 seconds. Could be good for higher target situations. And you'll notice we have Shield of the Righteous. Doesn't do a lot of holy damage, requires that you equip a shield and a melee weapon, one-handed, of course. But the main thing that attracts me here is the armor it gives, 994 armor. That's double my armor. And I've noticed the armor of plate wearers is a lot lower, because on retail / BFA this would be 40%, 45% damage reduction, but not here. So I guess that's a good side. That could just be Shadowlands scaling, and I'm betting it is, but yeah, Shield of the Righteous making a comeback. I'm glad to see that, especially in rogue situations or just melee heavy situations where you actually need the armor. That'll be nice. Going in just Retribution spellbook, nothing really changing here. Yeah, nothing changed. Cleanse Toxins, Hand of Hindrance. I really don't think anything was added. Looks exactly the same to me. So we'll go into talents, guys. Let's go over this real fast. For the 15 row, literally nothing has changed except for Execution Sentence. Instead of Execution Sentence, increasing your next holy power spending ability by 30% or 20%, whatever it is in BFA. Now it increases the damage they take from your holy... Let me re-say that. It increases the target's holy damage taken from your attacks by 20% for 12 seconds. So instead of just one ability doing the damage increase, it's all of your abilities within that 12-second window. This could be good with Holy Avenger, which making a comeback from Cataclysm / Mop, I believe. Your holy power generation is tripled for 20 seconds. So essentially, Crusader Strike, Blade of Justice, Judgment, they're all just going to give a shit ton of holy power, which means a lot of Templar's Verdicts going out, which would be good with Execution Sentence. Don't take Zeal. Just don't do it. Templar's Verdict, one that increases the damage. This is the boring one that I just go because I don't have to think about it. Yeah, so either this one or this one, in my opinion. For the 25 row, I was playing around with these just now. Blade of Wrath seems like it doesn't proc enough to be useful, and also the damage increase isn't that much. If they increased the damage by 100% and kept the proc chance the same, I could see it being useful. Or have it as the current BFA talent. And that If you don't know that one, I'm pretty sure it just increases your crit damage on your Blade of Wrath by 400% whenever it crits. And make it so Art of War resets the cooldown of Blade of Justice 100% more often, and increases its damage by like 300 or 200% or something. That could be incredibly broken, but this currently is just way too boring and way too underpowered to feel like any bit of useful as the other two. Fires of Justice, essentially, / literally the same as it is in BFA. I like this talent a lot, and I feel like it's underrated, but the more fun talent here, Crusader Strike has a 15% chance to make your next Divine Storm free and deal 25% additional damage. This is an Azerite trait currently that they rolled into the talent tree, which is a common theme with Blizzard. They'll test certain things in artifact weapons or Azerite traits and then be like, oh, that worked well, and then they'll throw it into the talent tree / base rotation, which they will most likely do with Covenant abilities as well. Just a thought though, kinda got off track. For the 30 row, it's literally the same. Fist of Justice, fisting, so that's all I gotta say. Take that one. For the 35 row, this one's kind of interchangeable. Cavalier for leveling is usually what I'd usually do. Eye for an eye for melees because it reduces physical melee damage by 35% and also causes you to retaliate for slight damage. And for the 35 row, this is what you take when you go against casters or really any other situation where you're not going against physical damage people. Reduces the cooldown of Divine Shield, Shield of Vengeance, and Lay on Hands by 30%. Yeah. Either Unbreakable Spirit or Eye for an Eye here. For the 40 row, Divine Purpose still feels like this never procs enough to be useful. So I exclude this and I outcast it at all times unless it gets its proc chance increased. Holy Avenger. My big gripe with this is 3-minute cooldown, I'd say, is the downfall of it. So if someone sees this, they're just going to run away from you for 20 seconds. It's kind of like Avenging Wrath, but like worse because it's 3 minutes instead of 2 minutes. And here's the redemption. Seraphim. Thank you, Blizzard. Thank you again. 2 thank yous. Word of Glory, Seraphim. I love Seraphim. I don't know why you haven't given Seraphim to all the Pally specs before, because it is one of the most fun abilities in the game, in my opinion, but I'm a sucker for just like flat stat increases. The light magnifies your power for 15 seconds, granting 8% haste, crit, and versa. So 8% of those 3 stats, and then 13% mastery, and your mastery just increases your holy damage. 15 second duration, 45 second cooldown, 30 second downtime on that. Yeah, I'm going to be using this in every circumstance, and I'm pretty sure they changed this. It used to be just a flat number increase instead of percent increase, I believe, the last time I was on the PTR, but I guess that was too strong, so they changed it. Still feels amazing, so thank you, Blizzard. For the 45 row, Selfless Healer is what you take every time here, in my opinion. I don't really think there's a situation where you don't, and I will directly contradict myself here. Take Justicar's Vengeance if you, for some reason, like pain and use Divine Purpose. If you take Divine Purpose in the 40 row, take Justicar's Vengeance. Otherwise, I would never suggest using this ability. It's just not good, in my opinion. Unless they fix it, / change the numbers and tweak it to, like, double the damage right now. I don't see it being that useful. Healing Hands. When you lay on hands on an ally with less than 30% health. This is actually new. The cooldown of Lay on Hands is reduced by 50%. This would be good for... You can't use it in Arena, so I guess just Battlegrounds. But I never use Lay on Hands on anyone but myself, really. So, I can count up to, like, maybe 2 times I've used Lay on Hands on a healer / ally. In the many Battlegrounds I've done, so... Yeah, just Selfless Healer. Sanctified Wrath. Avenging Wrath lasts 25% longer. Each holy power spent causes you to explode with holy light for 122 holy damage. For every holy power, so every Templar's Verdict's going to be hitting for about an extra 400 and increased duration. Not bad. I just think the other choices are better, to be honest. I've always liked Inquisition. I just take Inquisition for the damage increase and haste increase. Yeah, I'm that guy. Crusade is fun if you just want to, like, get a lot of haste and damage in Battlegrounds. In Arena, most of the time people will run away from you and try to get that kind of distance, but in Battlegrounds, Crusade can be fun. Because 30% increased haste, that's a Bloodlust, and damage increase for 30%. So this row's interchangeable. I'm going to go over the most interchangeable rows here. Obviously the 15 row with Execution Sentence and Righteous Verdict. The 25 row, just all of them if you really want to dick around and use all of them. I mean, you can. They all feel okay. The 40 row, I'd, you know, let's pretend Divine Purpose isn't there. Holy Avenger and Seraphim, you can play around with those as well. I do think Holy Avenger can be good against melees and someone that can't really close the distance / create distance between you. But in most cases, Seraphim, I'd say, would be the best. And for the 50 row, this is, I'd say, the most interchangeable, what you're going to change the most, just depending on what you want to do. They're all fun choices, in my opinion. So there's a new honor talent, Ultimate Retribution. I haven't even read this. When an ally within 40 yards falls below 25% health, you gain Avenging Wrath for 6 seconds. So it's essentially Retribution, or a / Retribution of what we have in BFA. When an ally dies within 40 yards of you, your redemption spell can now be cast while in combat within the next 20 seconds with a 6-second cast time. Using Divine Shield or Blessing of Protection on yourself will cancel this effect. So a 6-second res. Don't think that's going to be useful, but it could be really good if you, like, choose to just go out of the fight and try and res someone, but let's get into the rotation, guys. Finally, the fun part. The rotation actually hasn't changed. I'm going to burst the target initially, and then I'll just go over the kind of normal rotation that we'll do. And I'll go over, this will be the build that I will take, leveling in Shadowlands / probably at max level, unless Covenant abilities really change that. So let's get into it. I'm just going to build Holy Power. I'm going to set up just a little bit here, gain a little bit of extra Holy Power. Seraphim, we'll use cooldowns now. 11k, which, by the way, 11,000 is half of someone's health right now, at 9,000 Templar's Verdict. And, yeah, this is the rotation. This is why I liked the return of Seraphim. Because it really makes you... It just amplifies your Avenging Wrath moments by that much more. That with the damage increase of Inquisition, as well as the haste increase with Inquisition. And you get haste from Seraphim. This isn't even counting, like, in Battlegrounds, where there's going to be allies dying around you, and you're going to get those Avenging Wrath moments just at random as well. It's going to be really fun. Good job, Blizzard. Good job. This, I'd say, competes with Shadow Priest, in my opinion, right now. I think Shadow Priest Enhance looks like it can be fun, but if it's too squishy, I probably won't play it. This feels like it has a ton of defensives. So it might take the spot of Enhance. You'll notice Seraphim's back up. I'll use Seraphim one more time just so you guys can get the feel of it. With no cooldowns, of course. I did not notice you get a weapon when you use Seraphim. No way. That is interesting. I'm not sure if I like that, because I like my transmog appearance. They should definitely make an effect that transforms your weapon into the weapon, rather than just suddenly appearing out of thin fucking air, but... yeah, that's RET PALLY. One thing I kind of went over, that's because it's not really going to be a huge part of your rotation, other than execute effects. Hammer of Wrath is back. However, you can't use it while Avenging Wrath is active until you're level 58. So you're only going to use it when it's glowing, when there is an execute effect. I forgot to mention that. Hope it's not a huge deal. But, yeah. That's RET PALLY. Blessing of Sacrifice. I don't think we had that before either. Could be useful. But yeah, good job, Blizzard. I feel like you didn't take anything away from us and you just gave us a lot. Which is a recipe for disaster. Or just a really fun time for RET PALLYs. I don't know. Yeah, I like it. On a scale of 1 to 10 of like class changes throughout the many expansions I've played, like which is a lot. This is like a solid 8/9 out of 10. Like, didn't have to tweak much, but it feels new. I like it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, description, bell thing. Check out Twitch, check out Twitter. Let me know what you guys want to see next on the PTR. Thanks for watching. Till next time, guys. Take it easy.